Hey guys, this is Tara with Show Your Way to the Top book series. We're out here in the dairy goat barn today. This is going to be a little bit of a challenging video because I'm going to be moving the camera around to try to show you a few things. So I hope you can be patient with me there. So right here I have on my goat here a normal collar for her pen. So this is what it is. Okay. There you go. And she wears that on a normal basis, so that's just kind of a barn collar. So you might have a nylon collar, something like that. You can train your goats in that. Little guys, so you have a littler one here. Oh, if you can see her, she's fooling around. Can't really see her. She's she might not have a collar on yet, but when I work with her or I'm training her, then she would get one of these, and we would start with this, okay? But for the show, we want to switch them to what they're going to use at the show. And so what we have here is, let's see here, this is a chain collar, okay? And it is just a normal chain around her neck here, if you can see that. And what I prefer is not to, oh, she's going to be crazy on me. She doesn't like the camera. So right here in my hand, you can see that I clipped the two rings together, rather than taking a ring and looping it through the chain and then putting that over her neck, okay? So the reason I did that is because I want to have something that I can undo easily, and if I slip it through itself, then it has to be big enough to get over her head, which is fine, but it's going to be difficult to get over her head if you want it tight enough, okay? So it needs to be pretty tight. I'm going to give you another view here. This is how tight I have it. So this could probably get back over her head, but I don't want it to easily slip off of her head, especially in the show ring. You want this to be snug so that it never has the ability to just accidentally slip off. Okay, so that little clip that I have on there helps me a lot because that makes sure that it stays on her, and I can make sure the collar is exactly the size I want it to be, and I don't have to worry about it being a little bigger than I want so that I can easily get it back on her head. Okay, so especially with, let's say, like Nigerian dwarf goats maybe, have a bigger head than their neck, and so you really want it to be a little bit tighter around their neck. And to get it over their head, you would have to have a bigger collar than ideal. So having some kind of a clip to connect it is the best way, because you don't want an extra big collar that you have to kind of, what would you call it, collect up in your hand while you're trying to show. You just want it to be exactly the size that's available. Now, the other thing is, you've seen probably market goat shows where they use part chain, part leather, or they use like a plastic chain. None of those things are ideal in dairy goats. We want to have this metal chain here, and we want it to be solid all the way. We don't want any plastic or leather on it. Just solid chain. These are very delicate animals. They're all about their frail, not frail, but their dairy character, and they're just their body shape in that way, so they need to be a little bit more feminine. And so we don't want anything bulky on these goats. That the market goats, that's fine. They can be a little more bulky. These guys, we want it all to be nice and petite and delicate. Pretty little collars, okay? So think of it like that. Those are some tips for you guys as you're thinking about your collars. It's just a simple chain going around with a clip to keep it together, and that's exactly what the judges want. You know, always going above and beyond with little tiny things like your equipment makes you stand out, and the judge realizes, wow, there's someone who's serious and they care. So if you guys are interested, there's going to be a lot of information in that dairy goat book, a lot more than just the collar you use or the walking and turning, but some really good diagrams and things like that. So keep in touch.